Alright, let's keep going. And this one's called Public Libraries Limited on Meager Budget. There are 116 libraries across Jamaica, and the public library network receives less than a tenth of the budget needed to sustain them. As a result, the commonly regarded poor man's university have been falling into disrepair as they forced to close the doors or scale on the offers to the public. Concern was a report for a representative of the Library and Information Association of Jamaica, who last week Thursday argued that despite increases in social media use, libraries remain relevant in Jamaica. Quote unquote, to deliver a public and school library service at a level that would lie to what we would be so even from our parent ministry would not be adequate, said Director of the Public Library Network Kishma Simpson. Requested 1.2 billion budget. Simpson said the island's library service received 124 million from government in 2018. The money must also stretch towards catering to 898 schools that fall under the purview of view of the library service. Minister of Education, Youth and Information has ultimate responsibility over the library service, Simpson explained. And yeah, there's a lot of funny stuff I think that's met with Ministry of Education. Like the other ministries and so on. Yeah, they're but it should be noted there's a lot of funny style stuff that's been happening with them because it's not first a lot of people have complained about so stuff that antics that a lot of people in the ministry pull. Quote unquote, by virtue of that limited capacity in the budget each year, we might not be able to achieve all activities at this annoying, desired level, and dependent on what is provided, she said, noting that the social outreach is an integral part of the library service, especially in rural communities. Alright, yeah, so it does basically have a lot of quotations. Alright, so let's get back to this. So only 6 of 30 mobile library service launched years ago are still operational, according to expert. Underline that in some instances, the vehicles are without fuel. These 3 libraries were also closed because of tenancy issues. And more quotes and quotes. Alright, so at the end it says, in the meantime, Library of UTech, David Dressel said, contrary to year in the past, libraries are not tied to physical structures, but that people access library materials on smartphones or other electronic devices. In some communities, he said, libraries are regarded as a social space where individuals gather and discuss matters of public interest. Some people think that rural libraries are growing, but you see more and more people packing the libraries. Students have to meet together for the projects to start together and use the devices that are at the library that they don't have home, said Dressel. So basically, they're talking about a lot of these libraries in Jamaica aren't receiving the funding that's need to sustain them, which is not surprising, alright, because again, I know people are going to get same thrown on the tinfoil hat, but again, that's part of Jamaica's benign neglect policy, because when a lot of these ministries who are very funny style do the stuff, that's deliberate though. That's like they're basically purposely finding a way to starve a lot of these very needed institutions that benefit most of the Jamaicans by slowly killing them off with resource wise. And again, it's up to the Jamaican people. And again, I blame some of you fools who keep voting in certain officials and not challenging certain officials who do their funny style thing. Again, it's up to you. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to say, okay, to the people who in ministry who are purposely in the long run trying to starve these institutions of the resources they need, and yeah, their excuses are going to come. What are you going to do to hold them accountable? What are you going to do to make sure they do their job? What are you going to do to make sure they're out of their jobs if they don't perform accordingly? Because there's just no reason why these libraries and institutions shouldn't have problems with funding. But then again, that plantation slave system that's still in effect, that's the reason. But people need more and more need to acknowledge that and do something about that. That's all I have to say about that. So hopefully in the long term this gets pushed back, but again, it's a case where things get worse before they get better, unfortunately. But anyways, this is going to stay to Jamaican Caribbean. Check my other YouTube pages, Miles Gusson Farron and Miles Productions. Okay.